take a look at the social aspect of it, the kind of people interacting with. Are they doing it right or wrong? But moving on swiftly onto matters, Facebook iD8. Facebook iD8 is an opportunity for the social media to connect face-to-face with developers and share the latest technology and products updates. Brenda Kirubo is at the conference with the very latest. Over to you, Brenda.
Facebook is holding its first ever iD8 conference in Africa, and Kenya is the host country. Of course, this is the very first forum that has been held on the continent, and it should be interesting to indicate why exactly they chose the country and how exactly does the social media giant plan on engaging developers when it comes to possible solutions on the continent. Joining me more in relation to this, we are joined by Facebook representative on matters development and also in the development field is giving us more insights in relation to this. Thank you so much for joining us. Could you briefly walk us through why exactly would you pick Kenya as a host country?
Oh yes, thank you for having me. So first of all, we're having iD8, like you mentioned. Now, iD8 is an event that was inspired by F8. F8 is the flagship developer community event that Facebook holds in California every year. So we decided that it would be great to bring a version of this event into the region. And, we thought we would bring it to Nairobi. It's been, I think, at least 2 or 3 years since we were last year to hold a major developer event. So we thought it was time we came back to re-engage with the sub-Saharan Africa ecosystem right here in Nairobi.
So how exactly are developers different in Africa as a whole compared to places like California and Berlin and even other places around the world?
Yes. So I'll first start by talking about what makes developers all over the world, what they have in common. And that is that all of them are trying to innovate and use technology to solve problems either locally or globally. But then, as you can imagine, there are always regional peculiarities to these developer communities. In sub-Saharan Africa, like for example in Kenya, developers face a number of challenges. For example, in working with our developer community over the years, some of the things we've heard them mention is the need to have access to adequate mentorship and networking opportunities that allows them to understand what's going on at the world-class level and how they can bring their skills up to the world-class level. And that's why, for example, here at iD8, we're bringing a number of these developers together where they can mingle with people in the business space, people who've successfully leveraged our solutions to create business solutions and learn more about how this is done. Another challenge that we've heard developers in our community say that they face is access to learning opportunities and opportunities to grow their career. And one thing we did in that space is, for example, a recent partnership we announced with Andela where we are training 2,500 developers or people who want to become developers so that they can gain the skills they need to get entry-level positions. And to date, I believe about 2,000 certificates of completion have been achieved in that program over the last 3 months. And we're working to close the loop because it's not just about training. You also have to provide the career opportunities to match those trainings. And that's why we're having, as part of all of this, we're having a career fair. One here in Nairobi that's happening tomorrow, and another one in Lagos, Nigeria that's happening on the 30th of November, where companies who are looking to hire or engage developers can come and meet the developers who went through this training program. So those are just some of the challenges and how we're doing our best to work with the ecosystem to solve them.
Talk to us about one developer's solution that has become so successful and has been noticed globally, and the solution that has been proposed in relation to this.
Oh wow, so there are a number of them, but I'll just give one example. One of the partners we actually have here from Nairobi, a company that was co-founded here in Kenya, is Onge. Onge is a Kenyan company that serves a global audience. They are messenger developer platform partners for Facebook, and they also have a platform that enables global companies to serve their customer relationship needs by aggregating all their requests across different social platforms like Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp on one platform. And for example, one company they worked with is a company called FBS that has their Forex company with 130 million people who trade on their platform across the world. And this company had a challenge of of getting customer service requests in different languages on one platform. They had to service these requests in time because, with Forex, time is money, right? So they had to find a way to get the right language response to the different requests that were coming in. And OnGuess platform helped them solve that and raise their customer satisfaction rating. And mind you, again, this is a global company, not a company based here in Sub-Saharan Africa, but OnGuess from here in Kenya is able to serve this global audience using Facebook products. So that's really a thing of pride.
What makes a good pitch? What makes a developer entice someone to, invest in their idea?
Yeah, I always say a good pitch, there's three basic things you need to have in it. First is what's the problem you're trying to solve? And the second thing is what is the solution to that problem? And the third thing is how will the world be a better place after that problem has been solved? So if you're able to articulate this, and you don't need a lot of time to say this, you can say this in 30 seconds, right? So if you're able to articulate this in a crisp way, you'll always get more interest from whoever you're trying to entice.
And what does the future of developers look like? And what exactly can they do to make themselves competitive?
Yes, the future is vast and very exciting. Right now, there are a lot of cutting-edge technology platforms out there that are coming up, and Facebook is, playing its role in helping develop these technologies. Examples include the virtual reality space, augmented reality space, and artificial intelligence as well. Facebook has built a number of tools and technologies that developers can use to be part of this. And what we're saying here, the message we're passing over at iD8 is that developers here in Africa, you don't need to wait for a time when you say you're going to be part of this global revolution. You can take part in it. In fact, not just take part in it, you can lead it right here from Africa. The world is different now. You don't need to go somewhere to be able to innovate. You can innovate right here in Africa and change the course of human innovation from right here. And that's the message that we're passing over here in iD8.
Are governments doing enough, especially when you look at Africa as a whole? We have connectivity issues. We also have policies that need to encourage more startups and more businesses to come into play. Are governments doing enough when it comes to creating the possible laws to encourage this?
Yeah, so partnership with every member of the ecosystem, including government, is something we take very seriously. So seriously that indeed we have a team here at Facebook that is focused solely on working with government to create this partnership. And, when it comes to things like what you're talking about, that team is best placed to shed more light on that, on the things and the ways we're partnering with the government. Yeah.
And finally, what are some of the myths and the realities when it comes to developers? Is it true that they feed on junk and wear hoodies?
I think the hoodies one is probably true. But then I'm not wearing a hoodie. I used to be a developer. So yeah, like they say, the exception makes the rule, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Of course, we have been speaking matters development, of course, talking about solutions that cater for the African audience. And at the same time, the people who are here are looking at pitching to various companies, not only Facebook, but ultimately they will look to create solutions that affect either healthcare, that affect creating business opportunities, and also building the economy as a whole. Back to you in studio.
Thank you very much, Brenda, for that update. And the question that I'm asking you, what's the best speech you've ever made? Don't tell me, while we are preparing to play football and whatnot, what's the best speech you've